How's it going, y'all? I'm Sadiq, and you're watching Do Over Don't.
Bitch, I'm sitting in the crib, spitting sick as fuck. Body heating up, caught a dog, I had to hit him up. My flow infectious, got these bitches throwing up. Probably cause I'm popping like a pill and they ain't eating enough. Feeding them, breathing them.
What's good, Do Over Don't? Purple World episode 105. I'm in great vibes today, and I'm hyped as shit. Breaking the YouTube swear rule already because I don't give a fuck about that shit. I am hyped because today we got somebody that I've been dying to do an interview with for the past year and a half. Somebody that is very appreciated by the community. And I hate saying like the future legend title, but you're going to have that future legend title, bro. Wow. I'm going to say it to you. I got to give the flowers where it's due because past couple years, bro. Also, too, I'm going to just say before we get into anything, because I'd be gassing motherfuckers like you that have been dying to get on the episode. I'll gas way too much up. Like, out of all the people I met the past couple years, you got such a genuine ass energy to you. And I have never heard anybody say anything bad to you that it's so like apparent, but you're just truly cultivating shit. And it's so fucking fire. But enough of my rambling. Mr. Sadiq, what's Gucci?
What's good, y'all? Man, thank you so much for having me. You don't know how much that warms my heart.
Bro, like, I just got to say the truth, bro. Everybody that's watching this that knows you is probably saying the same shit in their head, bro. I got to say the truth right off rip, bro. Because, like, you just being positive ass spirits.
I try, bro.
All the time. All the time. I ain't hear nobody say nothing negative about you. And normally the managers are a hit or miss where it's like they're either like cool ass people like you or they're absolute dickheads. So I gotta just be straight up with it.
That's real, man. Thank you for that, for real. It's a pleasure to be here. And like I said, I love this platform. Like so many people that have come before me. Thank you for documenting our stories and making this accessible to a wider audience. So shout out you for real.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Damn, now you got my heart all warm and shit. What's going on with you? What's up with Sadiq? What's your recent? Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna forget it, bro, because I've been fucking up. Before I ask all of that, just brief rundown: who you are, what you about as a person,
for sure.
Yada yada yada, all the juicy details.
Yeah, I'm Sadiq. I'm a talent manager in the area. I wear a lot of different hats. I kind of got my start in the live music space, live entertainment space, event production, you name it. I don't know if there's a room somewhere I might have been in it. So, yeah, man, I'm really excited to dive into this and kind of tell you a little bit more about myself. So,
you saying that? This is why this is one of the episodes I'm looking forward to. You're one of those question mark motherfuckers. Because it's like, you're known as a manager, but then you peel back the layers and you're like, okay, this dude does more. Like, you're one of the unlabeled people. You can't put a label on you because you just be doing mad different shit, bro.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Right. It's strange because, I don't know, like, some people say, like, okay, master of one is better than the master of none, whatever that saying is.
I think that's the biggest load of bullshit because, bro, art is about doing what you want, and that's why I fuck with, bro, the amount of people you see that just box themselves in, like, okay, I got to do this one thing and only this one thing, and it's like, you see off social media and shit, that person that's doing that one thing, publicizing it, they're making clothes, they're doing X, Y, and Z, and they won't showcase any of that. So whenever I see somebody that's dabbling in different shit, go do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes from a lot of the people I've been around, like, there's different needs. You know, you might be an expert in one space, but you might not be needed, or that role might already be filled somewhere. So it's like, how else can I add value to the situation? And that's kind of how I've oriented myself. It's like, if I can be valuable, if I can add something to this situation, you know, I might not be the best at it, but it's going to be a learning experience for me. And if it's adding to whatever somebody else got going on, and I'm being helpful, that's what matters. So,
you know, one of the phrases I've heard, like, people call you the most, dot connectors.
You know what's crazy? Yo, it's funny. I used to have that in my Twitter bio, and like, cause I didn't even know how I really fit into this scene for real. So people would be kind of clowning me about it. They're like, dot connector, how's that working out? And I'm like, dang, that's kind of cold, bro.
I can't say shit now, though.
I don't know, man. I just try to make it make sense.
They can't say shit, bro. The work's backing it up. The work's backing it up. If you was being a bum, not doing shit, I get what they're saying, but like, look at all the shit, bro. You fucking done a lot of shit within the community, bro.
Thanks, man.
And like I said, it's from a genuine place. It's not no weirdo shit. You know how it be. It's not no weirdo shit. You could just tell the genuineness. You could tell how much you love the shit. It's fire.
For sure. Fire. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that comes from is this being like a big community. You know, like a lot of these people have known each other for years, whether they went to middle school, high school together, or they've been listening to somebody's music for a number of years. Like, I'm a real fan of most of the people I associate with. And if that's my homie, it don't matter what they got going on. They could be working on clothes, music, whatever. Like, I'm going to support you in whatever way I can. And if I honestly think most of the work I've done has come from just being a big fan. You know, like, I feel like managers are the biggest fans because they're like, I'm such a fan, I'm going to help you do everything. You know,
that is true.
You know, so like, how do I show up for you more? How can I help you connect with more people that care about you? That's what matters to me. So,
and you be doing that, not even just the artists that you manage. That's why I was saying you're the dot connector, because you would just be doing that for mad people. Even shout out you, bro. If you guys watched the last episode, the Vintage Lee episode, that was literally due to Sadiq putting me on, bro. So salute to you for that.
You giving me way too much credit, bro. Y'all were doing your thing, and Charlia hit me and was like, "Yo, how do I tap in with them?" I'm like, "Hey, I'll put you on right now. Let's get in a good chat."
Bro, I still appreciate it, bro. And like I said, I just got to give flowers where due. You might not see it that way, but like, I always go to say no disrespect, but all disrespect to all y'all weird motherfuckers, bro. There's just so many weird people in this. When it's like a genuine ass motherfucker that it's transparent, I just gotta like give praise with that, because it's so hard to come about. You know what I'm talking about.
I appreciate that.
You're playing like the little buff, but you know what I'm talking about. It'd be hard to come by real motherfuckers in this shit, bro.
Thanks, man.
It'd be hard, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you already know. Corny shit though, not corny shit really, but I hate all the like basic fucking questions before we get into the juicy shit.
Sure.
Recent whereabouts, what you been up to, yada yada yada.
Man, it's just been work and life. Like I said, work. I started working with Live Nation maybe 6-7 months ago now. It's been a wonderful learning experience.
Salute to you for that, by the way.
Thank you. I've just been trying to get my feet wet there and, you know, remain a student because it is a new experience for me. And then just life, man, like loss of people, a lot of growth, moving, like a lot of stuff going on. We, you know, Key's moving and she has a lot of things coming up, like Boston Calling. Like, it's just so much in motion and flux, and trying to just stay grounded through it all.
How do you keep that purity throughout it? Because I'm talking about your genuineness and shit. A lot of times you see people in this position, they get overwhelmed and turn into straight up dickheads, but you haven't been like that.
Man, it's tough, man. Like, I was telling you before we hopped on cam, like, I was rewatching Rob's episode, and it was so interesting to me that he was talking about, like, a lot of people have been in really tough positions, or if they hit, like, rock bottom, if you will, or whatever it is, that the challenges and obstacles that they're navigating in their lives, like, there's always other people that have been through that, and I've been very fortunate to have people to lean on. I do have a great support system. I have a very supportive family. So just speaking with them a lot and, you know, leaning on my homies, like, I'm very blessed to be in a position where I live with some of my closest homies. So, you know, they keep me grounded. They keep me going. They inspire me every day. I see all the work they put in. I'm like, damn, I got to get back on it. Like, you know, life goes on, whatever it is.
I gotta start giving people props more when they say shit like that, because I'm just shitting on people so far. I gotta chill out, bro. I'm shitting on people, but motherfuckers be like, I only need myself. I don't need nobody. But exactly like you just said, bro, that solid support system, like having a fucking family that supports your shit and is there for you, having genuine friends that are actually there for you at your lowest moments. That's something bro. Like people look past so much, but it's such a crucial part of life.
Yeah, and it's so easy, I feel like, for people to get distracted or not focus on their own path. Like, we all got phones. I be on Twitter damn near every day.
Yo, Saul was showing me that shit with the bird, yo.
Shit was fucking. I was in my kitchen when I saw that. I was on FaceTime with my sister, bro, and I was like, oh my God, you're not gonna believe this. Bro, I saw that and I was like, this is really happening. And you know what's so crazy about that?
I'll put this up on here.
Yeah. Nah, what's so crazy about that is, like, random things like that are symbolic to me, you know? And like, I was going through some stuff, you feel me? My grandmother passed fairly recently. Thank you, man. And like, I don't know, that was kind of a little wake up call, because I saw that and I was like, wow, this is like a dog eat dog world. Like, you either get up or you keep going. No one's gonna think twice about it. So I don't know. It was a weird thing, but I was like, dang, that's just life. Like, damn, nature.
Bro, yo, nature be dead ass teaching you like real ass life lessons through the most simple shit.
Nah,
bro.
for real. Like, I used to be like way more into the outdoors and nature and stuff. Like, I'm a proponent of camp kids. Like,
I'm a homebody, bro. That shit be scaring me, bro.
Nah, bro. I went to camp as a kid. Like, I want to say maybe probably like 8th grade is when I joined this teen leadership program called C5. And it's an organization called Crossroads for Kids. They just go by Crossroads now. But they used to have this network of camps in Massachusetts. And they would like invite kids from Boston and Brockton out to Duxbury. And they had a camp in Ashby and another one in like Ashland, Mass or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's like, it's interesting because growing up, I was a metco kid. So I don't know if you're familiar with the metco school system or whatever. I used to get on the bus at like 6 a.m. every day.
Goddamn.
Yeah, and go out. I went to Newton Public Schools. I graduated from Newton North High School. And that was dope, but I always kind of had this like Tale of Two Cities situation, like two lives. Like I'll be like, dang, I'm going to school in a completely different community than mine and then come back to the neighborhood. And it would be weird because I'd be like, I feel like I don't know a lot of people from my neighborhood unless I was going to like a Boys and Girls Club or one of those camps where I get to meet people from Boston and Brockton and really be in community with one another. So, yeah, I got to navigate nature with all of my community members.
Bro, nature is a scary motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
I went through a binge of, I've always been fascinated by bears. This is about to be like a Joe Rogan-ass moment, bro. I've always been obsessed with bears. My artist that I managed, we were supposed to go to LA for shooting a music video, fell apart. Then we were supposed to go to Massachusetts. I studied mad bear shit for a week straight. We ended up going to fucking Conway. So I'm like geeked out. I'm like, yo, we're going to run into a bear. I swear to God, all my life, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, I almost watched my videographer get fucking mauled by a bear in the middle of us shooting a video, bro.
Nah.
Yo, like, it's a dude. This dude was supposed to bring bear spray and a shotgun. Because I was like, I'm not fucking with this shit. Bring this shit. I'm not on this nature's accepting. This motherfucker the whole time like, yo, the bears here are friendly. They're not a problem, whatever. It was like a horror movie type video. So I had to go in the house. I'm in the house with everyone. He's outside by himself. We're flickering the lights. I go to call this motherfucker. He's like, yo, stay calm. Don't geek everyone else out. I heard some thumping in the woods next to me by the shed. And there's something big, a shadow. It looks like a bear. I got two red eyes staring at me.
Hell no.
Yo, I had to go outside and throw a pan to fucking scare the shit away, and the shit ran away, thank God, but I deadass thought I was going to watch this dude get mauled by a bear, bro.
Nah, bro. I remember all that shit. I went backpacking with the same camp organization in Wyoming. Like, we were in the Tetons somewhere.
Ooh, they got grizzlies out there. Yeah.
That was the first time I seen, like, they really had, like, bear bags and shit like that. And they're like, nah, we got to put all our food in this, whatever. Some idiot, I don't remember who it was, in our tent left some food in there. Yeah. Now, when we woke up, we were camping at the base of this waterfall. It was actually crazy when I think about it. And we were in it was like a valley because we were near this canyon, but we were like inside. I don't know. God, it was something weird. Bro. But we were inside, and I woke up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I just hear some rustling, and nobody's in the tent. It's just me. It's like bright out, everything. And then like I'm trying to move because this tent's falling apart on top of me. I pull my head out, and there's a cow right in my face, like, like just going crazy. And I was like, that was like a weird like wake up moment for me. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yo,
it's crazy.
Like that shit, bro. Nature is a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah. Like, and I was like, I had to be like, I don't know, like 15.
You
16?
still went camping after that?
Have I been out since? I don't know, bro. I don't know, honestly. Because they just threw us in the middle of the woods for like 2 weeks, bro. And seeing shit like that, it's a beautiful experience. I've had a lot of friends ask me more recently if I want to go. But I feel like the last time I went, it was more like cabin style. Like, we know we're not going to be outside.
Like, I do some shit like that, but I ain't staying in a tent and all that shit, bro. You won't catch me dead doing that shit. Yo. If you want to be fucking scarred to not go camping, watch fucking Backcountry.
Hell no.
Watch that movie Backcountry, bro.
Because you know what else people don't talk about? Like, people talk about camping or whatever. What they don't talk about is fucking country dark. I'm talking about, like, you can't see in front of your face. Like, I'm good off that.
That shit, bro. That's what I mean. Like, I'm not a fucking nature person, bro.
Yeah. It's nice, though, because I used to appreciate it because it not only me, but the kids in the program, it used to take us away from a lot of BS in the city, you know? And it was always nice to just unplug, you feel me, have like a really, really good, 3 square meals a day. You have structured activities and stuff versus just being on your block all summer and there's nothing else to do. People just get involved in the wrong stuff. So I'm very grateful for those experiences. and all the people around me that I knew from the time too, because I've seen people go on to do some incredible things. You feel me? And a lot of kids who also didn't make it out of some of the environments that they were from. So, special place in my heart for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got me inspired because, like, I'm saying how I'm scared of it, but also there's a part of me that's always like, this shit seems so fun. I'm just a pussy when it comes
Nature's
to
beautiful,
it.
bro, and it's beautiful everywhere. You feel me? Like I've traveled a little bit. You feel me? But I haven't traveled too much internationally. But one of the summers that I did, the same summer I did that trip, I think that fall or sometime, I don't remember, I got to take a trip to India.
Yo.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that shit.
Hell
Because
yeah.
that must have been crazy.
Bro, it's the craziest thing. Like, just think about it. I mean, even before I get into it, it's like, take any kid out of Mattapan, drop them in the middle of another country. Like, what do you get?
India, out of all places, that's like a major culture shock. Yeah.
It was crazy. And it was dope because I was able to do that through the Boys and Girls Club.
That's fire as fuck.
Yeah, they got a lot of people don't know it. Right in Roxbury at the Yaki Club, they have some experiential travel programs, and they'll take students, like they take like a cohort of students every year to India or Japan.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's fire. And I wasn't even a member of that club.
Bro.
I was just like involved in the community. I was actually my very first job actually. I used to there's a company called a nonprofit called Bikes Not Bombs. They're in Jamaica Plain, and they use the bicycle as a vehicle for social change, is what they say. Yeah, so basically they teach communities around the world how to build bicycles so that can become like a skill. You do like whatever, like then they donate a bunch of bikes, shipping containers full of bikes to like Africa or something, and they teach them how to build bikes, and then they like try to do that to be something sustainable in other countries. So, yeah.
Dude, I always think about how evil the world is, and then I hear shit like that, and it's like, okay, there's hope left.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I think about it as a kid, you're just like, oh, I learned how to fix my bike. They teach you how to build a bike, too. So, you know, that's cool, because kids walk around all the time breaking their bikes.
Crazy,
like,
bro.
dang, I don't know, my spokes are broken, whatever. Like, I did that, and then they started a program on Thursdays that used to be the Yaki Bike Club. And so they would take us, like the student leaders that are learning, over to other communities and do rides and fix people's bikes for free. And that's how I got tapped in with the Boys and Girls Club in Roxbury. Because I'm from Mattapan. I was never, you feel me, like over there. I didn't have any reason to be for real. But then I started going, and they were like, we like you. You should come to this program.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, for sure.
You know what's crazy? The same cousin I was saying Vintage grew up with, I'm pretty sure, I know when I was younger he was involved there, and when Vintage was over here, they were saying he still is. I'm pretty sure he works there.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he works
Oh,
there.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
You'd be
small
so
world.
surprised. Like, Boston's so small.
Bro.
People are so connected. You want to know a fun fact? Somebody you may or may not know. There's an R&B artist named Kamari.
I've heard of him.
He used to work in the music room at the Yaki Boys and Girls Club.
Really?
And we went to camp together for years.
And then when you like got into the
Yeah.
music thing, it was just a
Yeah.
reconnect.
I don't know. He went to LA. So we kind of here and there, you know, like he's offered some advice over the years, and his manager, and they're good people. But it's just when you think about how everyone else is connected. Somebody else who went to the same camp program, Zay Valmont. You feel me?
Bro,
Like,
shout out Zay, bro. I miss Zay, bro. I haven't talked to him forever, bro.
he's working, man.
I know,
He's doing
he's
his
busy
thing.
with
I don't even speak to him all that often, but whenever I do, it's really good vibes. So
He's another genuine ass motherfucker, bro. He's another genuine ass motherfucker.
absolutely.
Bro, before we veer off topic, because I got too many questions. But this India shit, I don't want to breeze past that. I want to talk about that India experience, because I feel like, honestly, there's like, India's got to be like top 3, I feel like, of just like culture shock destinations. But just that whole overall, because you said you were like 15 when you went there?
I'm trying to think. Like, yeah, I was one of the younger people on the trip, so I want to say like 15, 16, something like that. Yeah.
Like the eye-opening.
It was 2014. I don't know off the top of my head how old I was. So.
I want to know like the eye-openingness though, like going there, especially you're saying like being from where you're from, and then it's just like, okay, we're going to fucking India. You get off.
It was the craziest thing because everything else aside, this is the first time I'm traveling abroad. I have no idea what to expect, and it's with a group of people that like I'm still getting to know. So like the dope thing about the club, and I really salute to them for doing this, they make sure you're culturally competent before you go. So for an entire year, they make you take a class on Tuesday evenings for at least like an hour or two or something like that, where you're in community with the people that are going to be on the trip. Damn. But it's also a class, so you have to pass in order to actually go on the trip.
That's fire.
You know, so there were like 10, 13 of us that got through. Pretty much everyone that went on got through, but it was dope. You know, they gave us some text to read. They talked a lot about the culture, about the provinces, like history, everything. You know, they don't want you going in there just being like voyeuristic, like what the hell's going on over here. You know, it's more like read about it, understand it. Now we're gonna immerse you. You know, and it was really very well thought out. And they wanted to give people new experiences. So you got to pick Japan or India. I chose India because I was like, that's crazy. I want to see what's going on. And yeah, I just remember like when they told me I'd get to go, like went through the whole process. That's when I was getting my passport together, like everything else like that. And we were there for I think 10 days ish, which is not the longest time, but when you first exposed to something, it's crazy. And they really made sure we got to travel around. Like they didn't want us to just, the closest thing I could compare it to, I was like ignorant at the time, was Slumdog Millionaire. I'm like, oh, we're gonna see slums, like this is gonna be wild, whatever. But no, they were like, yo, we're gonna show you some of that, yes, but we want you to see Indian businessmen and women, right? We went to the Fidelity World Headquarters. Damn. Where it switches over. They take over once the US goes to sleep in the UK and stuff. Damn. So that was dope. They had us go all around Rajasthan. We were in Kochi, Jaipur, Agra. I got to ride a camel. Like, and camels are dangerous, bro. Like,
yo, the videos of them spitting are crazy,
bro. Spitting's nothing. That I had to find out that they keep female camels in like kilometers away because the males will trip out. Like I was riding a camel in the Thar Desert because we stayed out there one night. I was riding this camel in the Thar Desert, and the camel I was on took a chunk out of the camel in front of it. Like I'm talking about just straight flesh, just like munched, gone. Oh. And it's just leaking blood. I'm sitting there like, oh. Then one of the camels kicked one of the people that was like guiding us through thing, and this dude was limping the rest of the trip. And I'm like, now I'm really sitting there thinking about it, because I'm like, okay, I know I get to go back to America, and this is like whatever, but this dude got kicked by a camel, he's limping, and they're in the middle of the desert. Like I'm talking about like even the outskirt camps, and like the closest thing to civilization is people still running around with no shoes on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what is going on here? Like this, I hope he's okay, dude. You know, but it was dope. We got to meet like Indian politicians, like a woman that was really, really pushing the envelope. I forget her name. We got to meet architects. You feel me? They were walking us through homes where they were going off script, building new stuff. You know, they're like, yeah, this didn't fit because of the terrain, but we're going to try this and that. And I don't know, it showed me a lot of different things. Like even when it showed me to appreciate some of the simple things. Like we have McDonald's here. It's like a 5-star restaurant over there. Like there might be kids outside begging and stuff, but inside they're like, it's super clean, very respectable. You know what I'm saying?
I've always wanted to see the McDonald's in other countries, bro.
It's weird. They have a lot of different stuff. Like Dunkin' Donuts over there, it's Dunkin' Burgers.
What?
Bro, we went into the Dunkin' Donuts, and they have like the glass containers like out front, and it's chicken sandwiches.
Yo, Dunkin' chicken sandwich. Did you try them when they had them here? No, yo, when I was younger, I used to dog them shits, bro. They had a bomb-ass barbecue chicken sandwich from Dunkin' that was like the best chicken sandwich I ever had, and they got rid of that shit.
That sounds crazy. I'm not even going
to hold you. It sounds crazy. Yo, shout out my dad, because my dad put me onto that shit, and I used to say the same shit. I tried that shit one day, bro. That was like, it made no sense. Like, that shit was dead-ass better than Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's crazy, but they got rid of that shit.
Yeah. The biggest things, though, that I think, like, I'd take away from that, because it was very significant for me at the time. Like, I had a lot of personal and family stuff going on. And the same time I was there, I remember one of the places that they had us stay in was like an old palace that got refurbished or something like that. Yeah. And so I'm sitting in here, I'm like just taking this in. I'm like, yo, I'm literally in like a palace. Like, this is crazy. I FaceTime my pops, and my pops coincidentally was also out of the country for the first time ever in his life.
What the hell?
Right? So he's like he was in like his 40s, and he's like, on the beach in Mexico somewhere, and I'm FaceTiming them, and I'm in India. I'm like, this is so weird. Like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like that's so crazy. But it was very beautiful. And I think the biggest lesson I took away from that, well, two things. The first thing is that no matter where people fell in society, they were always working so hard to be better. It didn't matter if they were standing outside. It didn't matter if they were at the top of business executives, whatever. Like, everybody was working really hard, and they're proud of what they had, you know? And it really made me think about that when I got back. I'm like, yo, I'm blessed with so much, and I'm stressed out, or I'm worried about the wrong things. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm good. You know, I just need to focus on the things I got to focus on and do a little bit better, you know? And two, everything outside of America tastes better. Like, that's just it. That's how I felt. I felt like as soon as I came back, everything was bland for like 2 months. It was bad. Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy because you hear the stories where people come back from America and they just start losing weight mad fast. Or they start gaining weight mad fast because of this shit. And they're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you're eating mad food over there. And then you come back, you eat the same amount of food. And you're like, yo, why'd I just gain like 20 pounds?
Yo, I probably had the spiciest thing I ever tasted in my life out there.
Like, make you cry?
What? Bro, our tour guide, I'll never forget him. His name was Sanjay. And he was like ex-military out there. So he was just trying to like immerse us, tell us, introduce us to a bunch of people and locals he already knew and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, bro, try this." Like, it was this fish curry, spiciest thing I ever tasted. Like, I was crying for like 30 minutes. Yeah, like, it was ridiculous.
Spice is no joke. You tried the hot chip challenge, bro?
Hell no.
Yo,
I watched the Baffin community guys do it. I was like, I'm set, bro. Y'all got it.
I'm pissed, bro, because I forget. Did the SD card get corrupted or what? Oh, bro. I bought that shit one day. I came in here. I made everyone try it, bro. Motherfuckers is throwing up, crying. I tried that shit. We all took, like, pieces like this big. Yo, everyone was dying. Everyone's tongue turned green. All sorts of wreck-ass shit, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, one thing I wanted to ask you, though, because we talked about it briefly. You talked about being a metco student.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about the eye-opening, like, just experience, being able to have that luxury. Because metco programs, bro, are, like, the dopest shit in the world. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, like, in school systems over here, that's, like, one of the dopest part about school systems.
Yeah.
And, bro, I went to a racist-ass high school. I don't know how much you heard about Braintree High School, bro. I went to a racist-ass high school. And once I left, because I dealt with mad racist shit over there, because I don't look fucking, like, I look like a white dude, but I'm Cape Verdean as fuck. I'm just a mix of mad shit.
Right.
So I was dealing with mad racist shit. When I graduated, my mom became the metco director over there.
No way.
She left within, like, 9 months.
That's crazy.
Because it was, like, too much. I can't even talk about some of the shit on camera, but it was, like, a wreck-ass situation. But just overall, that eye-opening experience, because so many people don't get that opportunity. But I haven't really, like, picked someone's brain on just, like, the fucking contrast of it.
You know what's crazy? I think I can look back and say I'm extremely grateful for the educational opportunities I got. Like, things I wouldn't have known about otherwise that were brought to my attention. And I don't know. I just really appreciated that. Because it wasn't the most diverse school, I will say that where we didn't have diversity in general, what I did come to appreciate was diversity in thought. You know what I'm saying? So conservative, what have you, extremely religious, not. Like, we were open to different perspectives. You know, it didn't really matter because we're like, I respect you as a human being. I did sometimes feel like I lost out on certain cultural experiences. Like, it really did suck coming out and being at, you know, I'm from Mattapan. I go to sleep here and shooting like anybody else, like, or whatever it is. But then you are spending 90% of your time around people who don't share your experiences. So, like, that was really tough, you know, and I always felt like a bit othered, you know what I'm saying? Like, so any of my friends that were like BPS students or anything else like that, I always kind of felt like they looked at me some type of way. And, you know, it was like a joke thing back then. Like, be like, oh, BPS versus metco, like, whatever. Throw some rocks off the bus. Like, it is what it is. But I don't know. The other thing that I thought was really weird about it, and this is just an observation that I've made, is that because there's a lot less diversity, some of those smaller, more insular communities, whether it's of, like, students of color, I find that they tend to hyper-express, you know? I don't know if that's because they wanted to, like, maintain or reaffirm some sense of their identity. I never really felt the need to do that because I've been doing this shit since first grade. So when I got to high school, seeing people act out and do these different things, that was a little weird to me. But it was strange. Like, I would see people within our community fighting, and I'm like, bro, there's like 10 of us. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the complete opposite of what I think you should be doing. But I don't know. I think it was one of those ways we kept each other sharp and reminded each other different things. Definitely a strange experience, but I'm very grateful for the educational opportunities I got. You know, I think more people should have those experiences. I think it encourages a lot of cultural exchange. Yeah, and I feel like I was so privileged. You know, like, I went to Newton North. They even had our sister school South come into our school for opportunities. Like, we had culinary classes with full student-run restaurants.
I remember I hated y'all motherfuckers in sports, bro.
Bro, we were nice.
Y'all were nice.
We were nice. Yeah, we had state-of-the-art equipment, like indoor, outdoor track. I used to run track in high school. Like, we had all types of. We had an operating, like, actual car mechanic spot that they taught auto shop in. Like, we had wood shop. We had ceramics, photography. I used to learn in the dark room and stuff. Like, we had so many opportunities, you know, and yeah, I appreciated that experience, but I think the biggest thing was feeling othered, and I didn't like that because I always felt like I could still toe the line and walk in these different communities, which I appreciated, you know, because a lot of my other peers, who didn't have some of the same opportunities, they found it a little bit harder to, like, move in certain spaces, or they had a certain level of comfortability they hadn't reached until maybe a little bit later in life, whereas I was forced to grapple with that a lot earlier. So, yeah, I appreciated that. It definitely helps in a lot of respects.
The other thing you're talking about, I've definitely heard that from people before.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard that from
And you know what's crazy? Like, I felt like that translated into the music scene in Boston for me. You know, like, coming in, because I knew so many people who knew each other, like, went to Latin or went wherever, Mission or whatever. They all kind of came out of school here, and it kind of feels like you show up to the party late, like everyone already knows each other, and you're like, how do I fit in here, you know? And will people respect me if I have something to add to this conversation? Until I started having a couple of conversations and finding out some of the people I found to be the most poppin' were Metco kids. You feel me? Like, I ain't know the Charlias, the Neems, these different people I went to school together. I'm like, what? Like different stuff like that completely shifted my perspective. And I think it's like a dated perspective to have, you know, don't get me wrong about that. But it definitely changed how I started to look at things.
Because it makes you feel more welcome type shit.
For sure.
Once you have familiarities with people or something in common, it's just like that extra little confidence boost.
For sure.
If you have like some bit of, I don't even know the word with it, but it gives you that confidence boost.
Right.
You just touched on the music scene briefly, but normally I'd ask this way earlier. And what's the music origin story of Sadiq? What's the villain arc? What's the hero arc? Like, I want to know how you went from young boy Sadiq to who you are now. What's the roller coaster? You got any failed rap journeys or anything like that in the past?
No, nah. It's so funny how I arrived here. I don't know. I was thinking about this on the way over, actually, and I credit my father with really instilling a love for music and specifically rap in me. He was, like, even just growing up, he was just playing oldies all over the place, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, you name it. Like, any of the classics, this guy was playing it, he would be singing Late Drinking or something. Like, I don't know. I'd be like, what the hell is that, you know? But he really took the time to, like, educate me on a lot of different things, and also how it informed some social movements as well, which I really loved and appreciated. Some of the earliest people I think he put me on to were, like, NWA, Nas, of course.
Nas or Jay-Z? Gotta ask if you brought Nas's name up.
I'm a Nas guy. That's who I was raised on. I gotta say that. So I'm a Nas guy. Love Jay-Z.
Right answer. Anyone
Jay-Z.
that says Jay-Z, wrong answer. Business-wise, Jay-Z. If you say lyricist-wise, you want to talk about the music, Nas all the fucking
Yeah, I grew up with Nas. My first favorite rapper was Snoop Dogg. So, like, you know, Doggy Style, all that. I think my favorite song for a very long time, even though it came out like 04 or something, Drop It Like It's Hot. Yeah. I was like, yo, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. Music was always a part of, you know, really pivotal points in my life. Like, I'm one of those people that tries to soundtrack different periods in my life. Like, for a long time, I would print out like album covers and just put them on my wall just because I'm like, I gotta remember why that was important to me at that time. You know, I was a big Odd Future fan.
Really?
Yeah. My favorite rapper was Earl Sweatshirt. You feel me? Like, to this day, I recite Hive word for word. Like,
bro, Earl is like a forgotten. I honestly haven't even listened to Earl in a minute, bro. But when I was in like middle school, I was bumping him.
Like, I was angsty as hell just listening to Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So,
bro, I feel bad because honestly, like, I didn't appreciate Frank and Tyler until I was older.
Yeah.
But Earl, I always fucked with Earl.
Me too,
bro.
Yeah, and it was crazy. He was a wild boy, so it was like it was cool. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would just encounter music in the strangest places. And, you know, I feel like my whole family had a really great... My father always says, he has several brothers and sisters, and he always says, like, we're so different, but we all have the same taste in music. And so whether it was, like, a family cookout or something else, like, music's a big part of that. I mean, I was a kid, I grew up, I got to see the Soulja Boys and the different things, like, really come on the scene. Like, we would go to... a huge place that I feel like was, like, a hub of culture and music. When I was younger, my father was like really big into skating. So there's this skating rink in Mattapan called Chez Vu's. And it was like, if you think in ATL, like Cascade, that like movie, if you ever seen ATL, it was the closest thing we were gonna get here. You feel me? Like, and you know, the little parties they would have like 8 to 12 and whatever. Like, we used to go every Friday because it was like $7 or something like that, like super cheap. We would literally be, because I lived in Mattapan Square, we would just ride our bikes and our skates all the way down the Ave to Chez Vu's. And like, we would just be in there. And back then, they didn't really care about your hearing. So like, they would be blasting it on all them old speakers, and anywhere you stand in the venue, you would feel it like in your chest, bass in your chest, and people skating, doing tricks and shit. Like, I miss that. You know, they just renovated Chez Vu's recently, so it's cool or whatever, but it's nowhere near the hub for young people as it used to be. And it's crazy because, like, I guess they stopped hosting as much stuff because there used to be too many fights and stuff, which is crazy because they're literally across the street from the local police station. So it's like, or police headquarters. So I don't know how that worked, but yeah, it was dope. And, you know, we would always be hearing the newest music there. Yeah, and I would get introduced, like I said, when I went to like those camps, I'd be meeting people from all over there, different tastes. They'd be introducing me to stuff. My favorite rapper, Kendrick Lamar, I was actually introduced to while I was at camp.
Damn.
You feel me? I heard off of Overly Dedicated, Cut You Off, one night late. It was late. We were just talking shit in the cabin, and I was like, yo, who is that? What was that? And they was like, you don't know Kendrick, bro? I was like, what? Bro, put me on, Overly Dedicated, Section 80, all that. I was listening to everything. And, like, then, you know, later, Good Kid, Mad City dropped. And I really resonated at that time. I always had something going on in my life. Like, whatever it was, I'm like, oh, my God, this hits perfectly, you know. But, yeah, that's kind of how it was. Something else I think I left out, I always had a really big imagination. Like, one of the biggest parts of my childhood that I also feel like separated me a little bit. I think everyone was, like, playing video games and stuff. But I was, like, a full-on addict.
Bro, it's funny. I was just talking about the song about the same shit.
Bro, I was a full-on addict. Like, I'm talking about, like, in the crib, 23 hours a day, in the chair, playing something.
Did your parents used to freak out at you after that dude died from the blood clot of playing?
Bro, I don't even think they was paying attention like that for real. Like my parents were separated like pretty much as soon as I was born. So I grew up the first 12 years or so, 13 years with my mother, and my father. I ended up living with my father through a lot of my more formative years. But it was I was kind of spoiled rotten, bro. I had like every system you could think of. Like every game, I was deep. I played everything on PC too, so that's back in the LimeWire days, back in the like cheat engine, like whatever. Like I was doing everything. You feel me? Modding stuff. I was playing GTA, San Andreas online, like multiplayer, like whatever I could back then, you know. And I was deep in it. I would torrent everything. Like I don't know. I was deep in it. So, and I used to read a lot. Like just random stuff. Like I'm talking about, like I had a relationship, a really great rapport with my librarians. Like, I would be talking to the people in my high school, like, what do you got for me today, Kathy? Like, it was the weirdest thing, you know? So I just had this wild imagination, and I came to appreciate storytelling in all of the mediums. And I felt like I gravitated towards more of the people that I felt like were real storytellers in the music. So
I'm going to ask more on the music origins, but I got to ask, because you said Kendrick's your favorite artist. What you think about the diss?
Man, I'm so hyped.
Bro, I want him to drop that diss track.
I feel somebody. I saw a tweet somewhere, and they said they feel like Kendrick has a contingency plan for everybody, like Batman.
Yo, literally, bro.
And I believe it.
I would not be
people
surprised.
People sleep on Kenny. I said this. If he hear this somewhere, bro, bring Crash Out Kenny. I need it. I want. Kendrick said he wants the streets on Heart Part 5. I believe it. That's why he aligned with Future. So I'm trying to hear what he got for us for real. I want to see what's coming next. So hell yeah, I loved it.
Mad funny. This motherfucker just be a hermit, disappear for like 5 years, come out, diss the fuck out of somebody, and go back in the hibernation.
It's crazy because that's the thing too. Like, you gotta remember, these people live in life, right? Like, I stopped putting people on pedestals. Like, when I look at someone like a Kendrick, when they could talk about all of their struggles and the things that they've gone through, and remembering this is their first time navigating all of these things, fame, wealth, whatever. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to grieve differently. You feel me? They're going to go through all these different things. All I can do is respect his process, you know? And working more closely with artists in recent years, I have to remind them the same thing, you know, because people will get so caught up in what they see on Instagram or what they think about somebody. And it's like, you might know that, I won't say it's a persona. You might know somebody's music, but you don't know what they're going through on the day-to-day. You don't know what inspired them to write that. Some people use music as an escape. Some people make it all up. Some people do live what they talking about. Like, it's different. People use it like a diary, you know? And if somebody chooses to share that with you, I'm not going to go and make a whole bunch of assumptions about you based off of that. So,
well, reeling in a little bit. So obviously you had a love for music. It sounds like basically like your whole life, it was just a gradual buildup. Mm-hmm. What was your first endeavor where you actually like actively started doing music stuff?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That story, from that to managing Key, now you're fucking working at Live Nation. Like, I want the domino effect of how everything fell into place.
I think, okay, I can start. I told this story before, but I could start. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit to college, right? My freshman year, or before I even started in freshman year, so I'm gonna say like the summer of senior year, I was admitted to Boston College through something called the Options Through Education program. And essentially what it is it's a program that you have to take a couple classes with a cohort of like 40 students over the summer. If you pass, you get admission to Boston College.
Damn. You
know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like a full ride damn near, you know? And so I did that, and I was admitted. And that summer, I met someone named Kayla. And Kayla was from LA. And I remember that summer, that was summer 2015. It was also the summer J. Cole did the Forest Hills Drive tour. Damn. So he was coming to the Xfinity Center in Mansfield. And I was thinking about going. And the girl, Kayla, was like, yo, just get your ticket. I'll figure out everything else. I'll get the Uber. I'll get whatever. Just buy your ticket. And I was like, damn, I don't know. Like, we wanted decent seats. So, like, up to that point, I never spent this amount of money on a ticket. It was like $200-something, right? And I called my pops. I'm like, yo, I want to go to this concert. I don't know if I should spend this money. He was like, if I was you, I wouldn't even ask me. Like, bro, go. Like, what? And I was like, fine, fuck it. So I went. We were right behind, like the pit. Like, we were, there was a barricade, 2 rows, us. You know, and then there was a pit. We would literally watch people trying to run in and get snatched up by security and all that. That show, he toured with Big Sean. I don't think I was a true Big Sean fan until I saw that show. You know, like, I was like, wow, this dude's stage presence is amazing. He had his own set.
He gets too much shit.
But he gets a lot of shit. But nah, he was doing it back then. And especially to be rolling with Cole back then, like, you know what I'm saying? But Cole killed it. Of course, it was such an amazing show. I loved it so much. I was like, damn, I need more of this experience. So what I did is slowly but surely I started buying more concert tickets. Because, like, I'm in college. I'm knowing it's going to be shitty at points. I started buying tickets throughout the semester so I'd have stuff to look forward to. And so I did that so frequently. I was going to shows, like, all the time. I was like, I don't want to pay for this no more. And I also needed money, so I needed a job. I took a job at the House of Blues as a team member. Damn. Yeah, so I was on the ground, like, going, I'm giving my weekends to go and work and be security, freezing my ass off outside, taking people's drugs, and, like, flashing flashlights at people smoking, like, all that. That was me. And so it was dope because I would get to see kind of more behind the scenes, be exposed to more. I got to see how they settled merch, and when they're doing settlements after shows. And I got to meet all of the door staff, all of the people working, the production managers, these different people, doing wonderful work. And one of the big ways I got introduced to a lot of photographers. Damn. So there were a lot of people who would be there and they try to get press passes and stuff like that. I'm totally skipping over a big part of, like, early college and high school. So I guess this is work. So some of my friends from high school, there's a gentleman named Simon, and there was another kid named Ross, and they used to promote parties in the area. And we kind of stayed connected. They were like a year or so below me, but we kind of stayed connected going into, as I went into college, because they were promoting these parties through something called Slacker University. And
Why have I heard of Slacker?
You've heard of them. They're fire.
I've definitely heard of that.
They do a lot. They've been working for a long time. So Simon, he had started a company because he was a shooter. He started a company called Backstage Boston. And Backstage Boston, because he was, like, getting all these opportunities as a photographer, he wanted to help other photographers get the same opportunities. Damn. So he started kind of being, like, I won't say a middleman, but because he had everybody coming to him, he's like, I might not be able to do that, but I have some really talented people who could. And so he'd just be connecting them with opportunities. I remember Simon threw this party. Simon and Ross threw a party, and I went to it, and it was sold out, middies downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy, right? This is early college years. And they just kept going up and doing their thing. Ross went on to be a really dope club promoter. He still does it to this day. He Slacker tours all over the country and does an amazing stuff. Simon leveled up. He was shooting with so many different people, ended up with, like, falling into the EDM world. Damn. Did that for a while, the festival routes, and then somehow ended up on tour with Earth Gang, and now he's knee deep in Dreamville. Jesus Christ, bro. So it's like, it's weird because as a lot of us have stayed in this over the years, every single year, I see all of my friends and people that I look up to moving up a rung, and I was very blessed and fortunate to still be around some of these people. So I'm constantly being inspired by them. I'm seeing the stuff people are doing locally, but I'm also watching these people that I've been watching for a long time get close to the people that I listen to regularly. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. Like, good for you. Shout out you. And I can still text you, like, that's nuts.
Watching the homies go up is one of the best feelings. The
best feeling ever. And even more so running into them again. Yeah. Like one of the festivals I worked last year, One Music Fest, I ran into him again, and they were the media team for the festival. So I was like, bro, it's full circle. Moment, like, it's so crazy, Yeah, and I don't know, like, there was so much I went through in college. I guess what else I would say, like, with the music stuff, I was there's two things. So the first was I joined the Campus Activities Board, and I was also on the Black Student Forum. So I was doing a lot in the way of helping plan events and do different things like that. And it was just dope. Like, I would just put together experiences for more people. I got to sit in on the meetings to help book some of the larger acts and just see what that looks like. I had a work study in my communications lab where I was running the studios and checking people in and out, and I had I got connected. I worked in athletics. You feel me? I was doing remote camera work as a camera operator and like at all the hockey and basketball and football games, like in the control room, clicking buttons, making LEDs come up. You know, like
Bro's doing everything.
No, quite literally, because the way a good friend of mine described college to me, he was like, bro, it don't matter where you go once you get in. He's like, it's about how you take advantage of your opportunities. And then I was also told, you're not gonna remember you know, that class you took or this and that, but you will remember some of your experiences. You will remember the people, you feel me, and how they made you feel. And so I took that as an opportunity to really immerse myself. Like I was a pretty decent student. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was a straight A student or anything, but I did well enough. And I just really immersed myself. So I was taking every opportunity possible. Like I worked for a production company for a little bit where they would be bringing me in to different like random corporate events. God damn. Random like, I don't know, I was everywhere for no reason. Like just doing random stuff, setting and striking events, unplugging all these cords, whatever. Like that's why like I really had a way more production focused approach, at least to start, when it came to music and events. And it would just be cool because I had like this really holistic experience learning what it was like to be in live entertainment. So yeah, like even when I was in the clubs planning events, working through logistics, or like pulling plugs on production stuff, or marketing events and thinking about what groups do we need to send this to or whatever, and then watching friends do it and knowing some of the dope photographers and different people, like my brain was everywhere. I don't even know how I managed to do all of that stuff when I look back, for real. Yeah, but it was cool, and I really appreciated giving myself that opportunity to try everything. Just be like, you know what, that's not for me. Let me focus on this. Yeah. You know, so yeah, and dang, this story just goes on and on.
Sounds like you got mad stories, bro.
Yeah.
This is like one of the most interesting episodes I've done in a while, bro. We're going over an hour. Y'all motherfuckers, I've been saying we're already at 50 minutes. I've been saying we're not going an hour,
it's been
but
50 minutes already. I guess the other
I didn't even realize that until I looked down.
That's crazy.
We're going over an hour though.
All right, I'll try to make it a little bit.
Nah, bro. I hate rushing this shit. If anything, if there's shit that we don't get out, part 2. There will be a part 2.
So what I will say is I got to one of the things I did when I was in college. There was this girl named Mia that I met actually before I even went to BC, because we went during the prospective students weekend, and I met her, and I was like, wow, like you're dope. I forget what we were talking about, but I was like, I gotta get to know this girl. Like she's cool. We both ended up getting admitted to BC, and I found out she was this really, really, really dope spoken word artist. Damn. And I was like, dang, like I want to hear more of this. So I joined the Slam Poetry Club. I wasn't a poet. I didn't do anything. Like, I was just like, let me see what she's up to, you know? And I remember just watching her. She ended up becoming the president later on, but she was fire. Damn. From Chicago. Like, I just think all RC people come from Chicago for some reason. Like, and she was so fire. I was like, yo, more people need to experience this. So, like, I'm one of those people where I kind of obsess a little bit once I find something I really like. Like, if it's music, I'm playing it on repeat. You feel me? In my dorm room on full blast for everybody to hear. Yeah. You know, and if it was someone like Mia, I'd tell everybody about it. I'd be like, yo, you got to hear this girl. Like, she's fire. Come to this event. Come do this, whatever. And I remember just trying to help her. I was like, yo, like, I'd love to support you however I can. I think more people need to experience you. And I would just be telling her about a bunch of different stuff going on in Boston. Because, like, I had random internships and stuff here and there. So, like, I was tapped into the most random things. Like, I interned for, weird full circle, the dude who funded the experiential travel programs at the Boys and Girls Club. His name's Larry Fish. He has his own foundation called the Fish Family Foundation. And he used to be the president of Citizens Bank.
What the fuck?
Bro, I interned for him one summer, I think after my freshman year of college. And, like, I don't know, I was just under this executive, like, trying to learn things, help them. You know, they were taking a lot of, not RFPs, like, I don't know, a bunch of people looking to get money from them, basically soliciting them for money and seeing, like, all right, send them, like, $1,000, send them this and that, whatever. And funny enough, like, being tapped into more of the nonprofit community and all these different people, I got to meet so many different organizations because they'd be like, oh, we got to go meet with these people? Send Sadiq. You know, like we'll go see what's going on. And I just remember somehow I used to be very into politics, and I don't feel like I indulge as much anymore. But there were people I knew that were on Ayanna Presley's staff. And so I remember them hitting me up, and they're like, yo, we're looking for some entertainment for, like, this thing or whatever. And I was like, get Mia. She's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just chatting. And they're like, all right, bet, set it up. Ended up having her perform at Daryl's Corner Kitchen and Bar, and it was the Congressional Black Caucus's fly-in event. So, like, all of these politicians, congressmen and women are there, and Mia was the person doing poetry. And she left them speechless. Like, I'm talking about, I felt like it was disrespectful at first because everybody was just networking, talking, whatever, while she's trying to perform. She silenced the room. You feel me? And when I saw that, we had a couple more random opportunities like that. And she was like, damn, Sadiq, like, thank you. You know? And I was just being a fan. I was just trying to support and give her more opportunities. And I remember one time, because after we graduated, she went on to do her master's and then moved back to Chicago. And there was something happening in Roxbury called the Roxbury Poetry Festival. And I was like, yo, Mia, I think you'd be a wonderful fit for this. Like, come and do this, you know? And she was like, all right, bet. She had some points. Like, she was like, I'll fly up, whatever. And she performed. And she won. And she got a book deal with Button Poetry. Yo. And I was like, yo, like, that is crazy. I don't know how
damn.
Like, I was like, damn, like, that, in that moment, because then she was like, you should help me, like, figure out the rest of this. I was like, I don't know anything about,
so
like,
bro became a manager on accident.
Like I don't know. It was crazy, you know. And I was like, wow, like, based off something, I was like, you should do this, and it yielded positive results, you know, and something cool that you can now say and put on your resume, you know. And I was like, I was just genuinely just trying to help, you know. And I ended up doing some stuff like that for a couple of other people. I remember over the pandemic, I really got to lock in with my homie T-Wayne, Kid Wizzle, and he was trying to put together a producer group called Kid FM, and it was composed of, like, producers from all over the country.
That's fire.
Yeah, and, like, I didn't know anything about administration and writing stuff back then, but I was like, I don't know, I know some artists I think could be cool, and y'all are talented. I can pitch them and see if we can get you some placements or something. And, you know, a couple songs came out of that, but it was more the community that I appreciated, you know, and I got to experiment a little bit where I'm like, let me make this presentation. All these guys are here. Like, let's see what they're going to think of this, you know. And it was just random stuff like that started to help. Another big thing I didn't even touch on, because of all the people that inspired me, I've been a big photography fan. So, like, that was a hobby of mine ever since I was 13. That's when I got my first camera. And I don't know, that, like, it was probably over the pandemic I started to get really, really deep into shooting the community. And I'll never forget, it was an event that Shelly, camera girl, put on. It was like her birthday bash, and I was like, I'll shoot it for you. Like, why not? And I took a ton of photos of, like, the whole day, all the people there, and posted them. And that's when, like, it started to catch some people's attention because, you know, as a photographer, people are like, where can I get my pictures, this and that. You know, you editing, you see everybody's faces, all that. So it's so many different things.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
Auto photography, you a film or digital, dude?
Digital.
Really?
Yeah, I never had the patience to do all that extra stuff. I love film, and I'll leave that to the people who are great at it, like the Marikas. Like, she's fire, you know, and other people that really indulge that. I don't.
We're both, like, anti-digital people now. We're both. Shout out him, though, because he develops all my shit. I don't know how to do all that shit. But
Yeah.
once I,
fire.
like, bro, I had a film camera for, like, 4 years, and I got it. And then I just kept getting shitty-ass shots. I didn't use it for mad long.
Yeah.
Probably, like, what would you say, like 5 months ago? I picked my shit back up. Like 4 or 5 months ago, something like that. I picked my shit back up, and I just, like, fell in love with it again, like, all over again. But that tedious shit, bro, dog, how I was telling you the music video story, I shot 6 rolls of Portra. I came back, and every single one came back blank. And I was like, this makes me miss digital.
Yeah, no. I could never. Like, I think I was randomly in some program when I was younger in like middle school called Peace and Focus. They ran it out of the Harriet Tubman House in the South End, and they were teaching you how to do film photography, digital photography, Photoshop, and like all that stuff, Illustrator. I wish I paid attention more back then. I'd be a problem today. Like, and that was like that's when I got my first camera, like 13.
You got
14.
mad fire ass classes, bro.
Bro, that's one thing. That's one thing that I'll give my father, bro. Like, this man was gonna find a program because he was like, "You're not gonna be running around here."
You're gonna
like,
say, bro, it seems like you got a program for anything, program or class or something.
they just did not want us in the streets for real, you know. And that's what he did. I just had something, even if I ain't even want to be there, I was there.
A+ Dad Award.
It got me away from a lot of BS. So
A+ Dad Award, bro.
Yeah, shout out my OG.
Bro.
For sure.
I gotta ask, this is probably the most tiresome question for you, and I know you're probably always getting questions about this, and you probably already know what it was in your head. How'd the key situation come about? Because, bro, you guys, like, I'm giving props, and by the way, y'all motherfuckers that be saying giving people props is dick riding, suck a fucking dick, because it's not dick riding giving people props, bro. But y'all relationship dynamic, bro, like, I've never seen like an artist, obviously behind the scenes, you guys probably clash heads here and there. I already know, because I know Key even talked about it on her episode.
Yeah.
But like, y'all just look so happy together, and you could just see like the beauty in y'all's relationship from an outside perspective. But just that whole story, I know you probably told it mad times, so you don't want to get too in depth.
All right. I guess it really started, this is how it started. So a lot of that same day with the photography stuff, I remember it was around that time, around Shelly's event, that I heard Key, maybe like a day or two before, right? I can't even remember exactly, but I heard Key, and I listened to her Baby Steps project that dropped in 2021, and I was like, oh, this is fire. It was through a mutual friend. I saw on his story, Maddie, so Madsen is his name, and he helped her put together her first listening party. And I only saw it through pictures. Like, I didn't know anything about her up to that point. So I went and I listened to the project, and it just blew me away. Like, the second I heard Pressed, I was like, oh, it's crazy. And I'm the type of person where I'm a fan. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to DM you. I'm going to be like, yo, I just want to give you your flowers. This is crazy. Like, I listened to the whole thing, like, twice because it's short. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, shout out you. You feel me? And she's like, thanks. And then the night after... later the night of Shelly's event, she had like another like after party smaller thing at Thrill. And so we were all in this like backyard listening to music. It's a summer night. It was dope. Drinks and stuff. And I was like, yo, y'all ever heard of this girl Key? And they was like, who? This was when Steph and Cam and all of them were there too. And they were like, nah. So I put it on a speaker and they're playing it. And they were like, who the hell is this? Like, she's fire. Like that. And I just kept chatting her up. And it was because of a conversation I had. I told Steph and Cam about them. Steph and Cam then told Rob, who's like their big homie. And Rob was putting together the Future Forward Festival then. So I'm assuming, like, based off my recommendation to them, they recommended it to him, and he listened. He thought she was fire. And because we were all, like, cool at this time, he was like, yeah, like, put her on. Let's add her to the lineup. Then Rob told me... he extended the opportunity to me to help stage manage that day he was doing the festival. And I did. So we ended up in this situation where not only did I recommend it to the homies who were putting it together, but I'm the person handing you the mic. And it turns out that's your first performance ever.
Yo.
So it was.
I forgot she told this story, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, this is the weirdest thing. And we just kept, like, running into each other. She killed that show, obviously. Then we met up again at the Sound Lab for cook up they were having, and there were like so many people. There's probably like 80 to 100 people there, right? And there was only 3 women. 3 women, which is crazy to think about. There were 3 women represented in music.
And Key was just bodying everything.
Key.
No disrespect.
And then there were 2. I can't remember if Mona Valley was there, but there was like 1 or 2 other R&B artists. And Key was rapping circles around people. That was the first time she ever been in a situation like that. But she's like, wow, there's people who encourage me to rap. I'm rapping. And I just remember that was the first time we got to catch up after the Future Forward. And I was like, yo, like, I think you're so fire. If there's any way I can support you, please let me know, you know, because I'm not trying to, you know, come off too strong or anything. Like, I don't know her. We don't know each other. It's just, I like your music. And then, geez, how did it go from there? I don't know. We just kept ending up in similar situations. Like, she was friends with Steph and Cam, and I was friends with them, so we'd all end up at their crib or something and just chatting. And through casual conversations over time, we just got to know each other a little bit better, and she came to really respect my opinion, you know, especially having the cosign from, like, Steph and Cam, who she no longer, like, that went a really long way. And I can't remember all the details in between there, but I know at some point she asked me if I would ever consider management, and I had to think on it for a little while. She asked me a couple times, and then I asked my dad in true me form. Like, I was like, let me seek some guidance. And
he said the same thing as the concert, I'm assuming.
Bro, he was like, she's hard. Like, go for it, you know? And I went for it, and I was like, look, we're going to take our time figuring this shit out. Like, I don't know what this is going to look like. I've never managed anybody, especially in art, like a recording artist. I helped the poet, but I never worked with someone who's in music officially. And, you know, the rest is kind of history.
And I got to say, bro, giving her props, even though I've given this to you on mad fucking episodes, I will never forget the first time I saw her perform at that VB show, bro.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't know who she was.
I
seen her perform like 5 times. It was the 3-peat show. I never saw her perform. I'm the type of dude, like, I be enjoying concerts, but if I'm shooting a concert, I'm glued to my fucking camera.
Yeah.
She went on the stage. I took like 3 pictures, and then I'm like, who the fuck is she? I was not on my camera the whole fucking time, and I was just genuinely like, who the fuck is this girl, bro? Yeah. Like, her stage presence is fucking crazy.
It's nuts.
Like,
it's not fair,
bro,
to be honest.
It honestly isn't. Like, no disrespect to other artists in the city, but the way from, like, the wardrobe, her hair's always fucking completely different, everything. Like, she encapsulates that shit. Bro, I haven't seen, like, people move a room that much in a fucking while.
In a long time.
It never misses. Because like I said, I've seen her perform like 5 times at this point. It never misses. If anything, it just gets better.
Bro, I give Key so much credit with that, and a lot of our team and support system. Like, I can't name the amount of times my sister is working on her hair. My twin does her hair a lot of the time and makes stuff happen. Key's very creative, and she's very capable. You feel me? Like, it don't matter if it's just me and her or if we got a whole team with us, we gonna make something happen. That's just the kind of person Key is, and I'm right there with her. Like, I'm gonna stand beside my people. So, you know, extremely grateful for all the people around us. Without the Stephs and the Cams and the Robs and the people who have offered us guidance over the past 24 months, like, none of this would be possible. So I think we're very blessed and fortunate. Yeah,
I gotta give Rob a shout out too. Rob,
no, that's that guy.
Enough times.
That's that guy. We don't get to talk all the time. I used to call him a lot. Like, when it comes to this management stuff, I really credit 2 people with instilling a lot in me, and that's Charlia, who was the first person that I spoke to when I started managing Key. Because the first thing that went through my head is, like, I manage a woman. I should speak to a woman who also happens to manage an artist who's a woman. You know, it just made sense to me. So she's offered some incredible insight over the years. And Rob, always very supportive, because, I mean, he's 10 years deep. Yeah. You know, it's not a lot of people that could say that from here.
Yo, I gotta say, bro, that episode, the confidence that you came on that episode with, bro, is still unmatched, bro.
For sure.
Like, he was talking his shit.
Shout out Rob,
day,
bro. That he learned from going through the fire.
Yeah,
you know. Nah, he's wild. I respect it, and I'm very grateful for his insight. It gives me a lot of energy that I've also gotten from my family. So tons of love and respect to Rob, for sure.
Shout out Rob, bro. Shout out Rob. Last question about Key. I still got like a couple more questions. Damn, I'm gonna cap this out at 1:30 so we don't go too over.
Copy.
But fucking going from obviously the poet situation, you learned a little bit, but like you said, when you were managing Key, it's like, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in this. How was that whole transition? Because from an outside perspective, like, obviously there's probably like micro failures that don't look like failures. But from the outside point of view, it seems like you low key just got it right your first time going around.
Bro, to anybody going into management, have a conversation with Rob. He'll tell you it because he's seen so many situations go so many different ways. But I will say, you got to think about it like this. If you meet somebody and then all of a sudden they're responsible for part of your career, you feel me? You're going to really want to know that person. There's a lot of back and forth Key and I went through. You feel me? As I'm learning this new person, as they're learning me and how we work and how we operate, and building trust at the same time. You know, it's one thing to be able to take a chance and try it. It's another to navigate it. Our communication has come so far. I'll say that. And it was tough. Like, sometimes you fall flat on your face or completely just wrong in a situation, and you have to learn why. You know, when you're pioneering something new, and at least off rip, you don't have all the people to ask questions and give you insight. Like, the best you can do is feel your way through things. And I will say, like, it was extremely difficult. I mean, I'd been exposed to a lot of things, so I feel like the big premise of our working relationship was like, hey, you know, I've been in a lot of these different circles in live entertainment. I know different people that I've met and shook hands with that I can't offer them anything of value yet. But an artist coming into that situation adds a whole new layer and element to it, where it's like, I might meet a booking manager. It's like, oh, who else are they going to book? You know? But it's like, oh, I have this homie Key I can introduce you to. And now we're leveraging each other's success, you know? So it's like, that was really important to us. And I always try to do that, where it was like, you know, I might not have all the I's dotted and T's crossed, but I can share my relationships with you because I know that adds value to your situation, which goes back to kind of what I was saying earlier, where it's like, I have to figure out how I can be valuable to you. You feel me? And there's a lot of stuff that I'd learned and been exposed to that now I can let you know about that. A lot of it was just educating and sharing knowledge. Like, we spent a lot of time, me just putting together little presentations and trying to help, or being like, hey, you know, artist resume is like it's like a EPK, like you should have one of these, or it's going to be important that you get promo on like some of these local platforms, and these are some of the ones I've been paying attention to that I think people actually follow and listen to and engage with. Like, it was knowledge sharing, because in much the same way, like, I have my insights, Key had a lot of relationships herself. Like, what drew me to her is she was making stuff happen on her own. You know, she had a listening party. She had homies that were backing up. She was putting out quality music. Like, you're doing something, I just want to add my stuff too.
Enhance it,
make it go. You know, I'm not looking.
Sadiq sauce,
bro. It was, that's crazy. Yeah, but nah, it was just, I don't know. Like, I was a fan, and we grew a friendship, and it got to a point where I'm like, yo, I'm helping one of my peoples get on. Like, that's the most important piece, you know. So yeah, that's kind of how it went. And it's still going. And I'll say, even to this day, it's a challenge, right? Because I'm met with situations I've never been in. You know, like, it's one thing to be working production at some of these big shows. It's another to be talent at them, you know. And the same way it's Key's first time getting on Boston Calling, it's my first time being on an artist team, going to Boston Calling.
I was going to say, how was it when you got that news, bro? Because I know that was an accomplishing-ass feeling, bro. And I'm not even going to lie. I'm a fake supporter when it comes to shows. I do not be an antisocial motherfucker not going to shows, and I have never been to Boston Calling once, but when I saw Key was on the lineup, I'm like, okay, I got to go this
year.
And no disrespect to my VB boys, because I know I'm cool with all of y'all, and I'm sorry that I didn't make the last one, bro. I feel bad, but I'm going to make sure I make that shit this year, bro.
Yeah, so it was crazy. I was in the airport. I think I was coming from D.C. or something, and, like, we got on a call. Right, I got on a call right there, and I was like, yeah, send this agreement. Like, let's talk a little bit, see what's going on, what they could offer. And I'm big on recognizing opportunities, you know. So I was like, of course, you know, these guys, I felt like it was a little overdue. Not to sound full of ourselves or anything, but I was very excited. And it's weird because for me to pay attention to something like that and know what a Boston Calling is, and this is like the first time Key's ever heard of it. You know, she's like, what is this? What's the value of this? And I'm like, you don't even know.
Yeah, man. She didn't know what Boston Calling was? Not like that.
Not really,
Yo.
you know, and that's the beauty of it too. A little bit, like sometimes it's a little frustrating because I'm like, I wish you would get this the way I get this, but
I know what you mean. As
you
a
know,
manager,
like
bro.
I wish you would get this the way I get this, but she does, and she respects, you know, my thought process and my decision making, and when I see value in things, and we always find a way to get on the same page.
She's gonna get it after she does that performance.
She always does. we always sometimes we butt heads, but we always come back like, okay, this is what I'm saying. This is what's important. And I'm like, bet we're on the same page, you know. So,
bro, that's so fire.
Yeah.
Gotta blow the smoke out, but congrats for that, bro. Because
Thank you.
that, like, as a manager, that is a big ass.
That's all
accomplishment,
that
bro.
I put. You know, it's work on both our parts,
Yeah.
so I'll accept that. Thank you, but it's really key putting in the work.
Shout out
You know,
Keith.
like she's the one that gotta write the music, that gotta get out there and run across the stage in front of 40,000 people. Like it's different. You know, I've seen her come off stage and just cry, bro. You know, just whatever it is in life, she just leaves everything on that stage, and I really have the utmost respect for her because I've never seen her not show up. You know, so shout out Key, man.
I gotta get her on an episode now that I'm getting females on Purple World, because I want to just ask her how the fuck you keep that endurance up, bro. Like, yo, she did not be getting, like, obviously the way
She
you're
be in the
saying
gym, bro.
after-
Don't sleep.
Yo, bro.
She be in the gym.
Like, every time I watch her perform, I'm like, my ass would have been gassed halfway through the fucking first song. Never
Yeah.
mind, like, how the fuck you be so energetic
It's crazy,
all the time,
bro. I don't know.
Like, last management question though that I gotta ask you, because I don't want to get a couple more show things out before we end the episode. But anybody that wants to get in the management right now, what would you say your biggest piece of advice in building an artist brand up is? And what are the biggest things to look out for walking into a management situation? I know that's kind of a loaded question.
No. It's a good question. I think don't put yourself in it for money. You feel me? I think a lot of people see people got motion, people got stuff going on, and they want to attach themselves to it. I feel like you got to think about working with somebody. You know, there could be somebody who gets a whole bunch of money and then loses it. Are you just gonna leave? You feel me? I think you should protect your own interests. You should think about setting boundaries in any situation that you do go into. In terms of brand building, every artist is different. But I feel like, you know, someone has to be outside. If it's not the artist being outside, then you better be outside. You know what I'm saying? You need to know the players. You need to have an awareness of what's going on, because you're going to find where your artist, you want to make sure that you understand where your artist is going, where they're coming from, what are their values, you know, because you want to create the best context around them. So, you know, if I know the wonderful people at Do Over Don't are doing some really amazing content, or maybe when they have Pink World and they're doing the stuff with women, yeah, go and speak with them. Let's see what's up, you know. You want to just have a really clear understanding of your artist and try and align them with other things like that, or the things that they're trying to align themselves with, you know, and recognize that there are steps to that. Like, you're not going to step out the crib and be like, oh, I got to get next to Gunna. Like, nah, bro, that's not even your demographic right now. You know, like, focus on the people next to you. Who are the artists that support you and like your music, and have them work together. You feel me? Like, there's a lot of crossover between a Clark D and a Key. And who would think like a Boy Rock fan is a Key fan as well? Like, find your peoples, because they're gonna build out in their respective ways, and then see how organically you guys will connect, because hopefully the fans and other people around that will understand as well. Move around a lot, the same way that it takes trial and error. Like when I tried all those different things to figure out what I'm good at, what I want to focus on, do a lot of shows, put yourself out there. There's no harder working performing artist than C4. I've seen that man. He's like synonymous with Boston hip hop to me from a certain era. You know what I'm saying? And he's still working his ass off. And
He's a fucking energy.
he's
too.
crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out C4, bro. Like, I've seen him in so many spaces and so many rooms and share so many stages with so many people. He's been able to hone that. He's built a level of confidence with himself and around himself, so he knows who to align themselves with, you know? Like, really know yourself and make sure your artist knows themselves. And I think it's our jobs as managers to help them better understand themselves creatively, and to offer that context and that perspective, you know, from a trusted individual. Yeah. And yeah, like if you're a fan and you know of what you like, but you're also trying to pay attention to what other folks with similar tastes would like, try to get in touch with those people. You're going to have the most genuine interactions there. So I feel like there's so much I could say, but
you spit facts though. Everything you said was nothing but facts.
Thanks.
Everything you said was nothing but facts, bro. Before, because I got a question about the show thing, but something we were talking about off camera a little bit before, and I was like, yo, we're starting the podcast because I don't want to ask.
Yeah.
Do you think that short form content is killing art? I love asking people this question lately because it's like, as an artist, you sit here, you go make a full music video, or like podcasting, how I was talking about, you go make a 2-hour episode, and you got these fucking 20, 30-second clips that are getting thousands of views, and that's where all the traction's coming from, but people aren't watching the other shit all the way.
It depends on your perspective. Like, the way I look at it, I love short form content, and if it's going to drive me to do something. Like, if it's going to drive me to listen to your stuff, or is it just good to listen to for a hot second and I'm moving on to the next thing? You know? If it's something that piques my interest and is cool, I'm going to go watch it. That's just me. I can't say for everybody else. Like, I know a lot of people have these love-hate relationships with, like, a TikTok or a YouTube or whatever, but it's just people do have short attention spans. It's like a little commercial. You got, like they say, you got your 15 minutes of fame, you got 30 seconds. Sell me on it. What we gonna do, you know? So I don't think it kills art. I think the art's there somewhere. I think some people are just better marketers. Some people know how to take advantage of that, you know? Because you could find the short form thing and then go to whatever it is long, and you're like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to engage with this. So it's like, I feel like it forces us to be better cultural curators and critics, you know, because we have to digest all of that. And I feel like we have to develop a better palate, because even if you get a quick, simple taste of something, it's like, you know, if you like it or not. So I don't know. That's my take.
I like that answer, because that just shifted my perspective a little bit, and you're the first person to come at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
You're the first person. I like that answer a lot. Fucking elephant in the room, kind of, because you talked about it at the beginning. Hearing your whole story, you started off in the shows before you got to the management. Mm-hmm. You're working at fucking Live Nation now.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that. This will be like the second to last question, because I know that inner child Sadiq is like, damn,
bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's still weird for me to think about it, bro. Like, yeah. I like, it's funny because it's so full circle, right? I told you when I was in college, I worked at the House of Blues, and I was, you know, I'm just a security guard. I left that and had all these other experiences, and then ended up working, you know, in entertainment and doing all these different things. Like, it was so weird. I've had so many different experiences, like working in like Atlanta or DC or LA or whatever I was a part of at the time. And then to like through working with Key, and then the way I got the job, this is crazy. So I know thousands of people apply for these jobs when you see them pop up on livenation.com or whatever it is, right? And you should continue to apply. But this is a relationship industry. You feel me? So I'll always be transparent about this. The way that I got this job was I was recommended by Charlia. And it's so crazy because 2 years prior, we had no type of relationship.
That's crazy.
But being the first person I spoke to about management, and then building our relationship over time, and her being able to see how I work and move through different spaces, something in her said, hey, because it was unsolicited. She said, I think you'd be a good fit for this, and sent me the application. And so I was like, all right, I'll apply. 3 interviews later, boom, you know? So it's like you can cut through a lot of noise if you've already been working, you know, and you're connecting with people, because, like I said, it's a relationship industry, and people are going to look out for you, you feel me, if they think you're a good fit for something. Because I don't think I've ever been put in a situation where people recommended me or put me in a situation that they didn't think I was prepared for, you know? And I feel like it's my duty to do well by them for putting me in position, you know, because we all make each other look good. So Shout out Charlia. Thank you to her. But yeah, it's mind boggling, bro. Cause it's all the stuff that I've wanted in so many different ways. And just trying to really digest that has been difficult. You know, like I'm still very new to it. I'm learning. I'm a student. You know, like I would never speak from a place of authority. I'm still learning. You know, and I'm very grateful for that. I work under some wonderful people on the Live Nation Urban team. And yeah, like it's crazy, bro. I was backstage at OMF, One Music Fest, and Keith Lee walked by, and all these people are back there. I'm like, yo, where the hell am I? You know, like what's going on? You know, but it's a beautiful thing, a beautiful feeling, and a beautiful experience, and I'm extremely grateful.
Salute to you, bro. Because I know moments like that, it's like everybody tries to play it off like, yeah, bro, I'm so confident, blah blah blah. But this creative shit is a roller coaster, bro. And you have moments like that, and it's like, okay, this shit's real.
And I don't think people talk enough about like there's stakes. Like there are really stakes. Like, okay, I've been empowered to help put together experiences for thousands of people, not just in my market, not just at one festival, tours. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And decisions and things that I do impact that. So I think it's a lot. It's the gravity of it sometimes weighs on me where I'm like, damn, I need to make sure I show up and do these different things. In much the same way that it's like if I'm working with somebody, I'm like, I'm at least somewhat responsible for their success. And I have to make sure that I'm playing my part to continue to do that and continue to grow. And so, yeah, I feel like it's just my duty to continue to do just that, learn and grow and perform, you know, so.
Salute to you, bro. Salute to you, dog. I know that made your inner child happy as shit these past couple of months.
Bro. I think the thing that really made my inner child happy, because like I said, Kendrick, my favorite rapper. I haven't met him yet. I'm gonna say yet, because I'm gonna meet him. I got at that big ass festival. I'm in the photo pit. There's like 40,000 people behind me, and I'm next to the photographers, just looking at them like, I'm like, oh, yeah. You know, like that's crazy.
That shit would be crazy.
Yeah, like, this is nice,
bro. I could only imagine the experiences you've had already and the experiences you're gonna have. Like, if we were to do an episode in a year, you probably would have some crazy.
We'll see, bro. Whatever, I'm here for it. Whatever God got in store for me,
bro. I already know, dude. Fucking last question though, just a generic one that I'm tired of asking in the same format, but I gotta ask it in the same format because I got the best answers. Okay. Any artist that's starting out right now, you got somebody that they got the clean slate, they haven't even picked up a mic, they haven't done anything, or we'll say creative in general, not just necessarily artists, just somebody that wants to pursue a creative career. Mm-hmm. If they got a blank slate, they haven't actively pursued anything, but they got zero connections, they got no idea where to start, yada yada yada. What would be your biggest pieces of advice for them to absolutely do and absolutely not do?
Okay. Absolutely do. Well, this is a piece of advice I give to everybody. Deal with reality on reality's terms. I think that's very important. You might encounter people you don't like. You might not like the process of certain things, whatever. But if there are just some things that have to get done, do it. You know, practice doing it at least. It's going to make you better. You'll appreciate it further down the line. Try your best to network. One of the things I was always told as I was learning a lot was that there's no way to skip that work. You have to get in front of people. You have to shake hands. You have to talk to people. You know, be personable. What I would not do, don't quit your job and just try to do art. You know, it's very, if you're dealing with reality on reality's terms, you recognize it is a tough market as a creative. You know, try your best to develop skills, you know, that can be valuable. Like, you might not be, I don't know if you're the strongest artist or not, or however you believe in your work, but have a skill, have something that you can lean on in those contexts that's going to be valuable to other people. Because the more valuable you are, the more people want you around, the more people are going to seek you out for things. I don't know if that's production. I don't know if that's being a DJ. I don't know if that's songwriting, whatever it is, but just try to develop some sort of skill. And that's how, like, whether you're a shooter, you're a photographer, you make content, like, whatever it is, have something else to contribute. You feel me? Because it's the people, one of the dopest people that I've had the privilege of working with, his name's William Wells, and he worked very closely, like, on a lot of live sound elements for, what's the name of that thing? People are going to roast me for this.
Got me curious.
It's not Hamlet. What's the big like touring Broadway show? Oh
Hamilton?
Hamilton. Yes, Hamilton. He worked like really close to that, and he told me like at first he started out, he was just like a fly on the wall, but you know, he was amazing at piano and he was really amazing at live sound, and he would always be around, and it would come to a point where they're like, at some point they're going to ask you, you know, what you think. You know, and whatever else it was that brought you to that point got you there. So then you can share that knowledge with them or your insights. And if they find it valuable, that's dope. They might bring you around. If they find something else you're great at, valuable, they don't want you to go anywhere else. You're good at 3 or 4 things simultaneously. You're holding all those jobs. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's good to be good at more than one thing. If you're the strongest songwriter ever, amazing, but it's nice to have other things you might just be at 50% with, because that 50% might get you in the door where you can talk about that thing you're 100% excellent at. So I don't know, I would say those things, like just make sure you're still keeping yourself out there, talk to people, ask real questions, genuine questions. Don't have too much of an ego with this stuff, you know, like it's nice to be humble and pay respect to the people who came before you. They were in your position once, so they want to pay it forward to you. Be welcoming of that. Keep your own opinions, and yeah, just live your life, bro. Remember, you're a person. Try to find balance with this. You know, you don't have to pour everything into this all the time. Sometimes go home, watch some TV or anime or something. Like, just live your life. It's very important to do that as well. So, yeah, I think that's what I'd say.
Man, speaking words of wisdom, dog, you're about to make my perfectionist brain go crazy, because I do not know how I'm going to narrow down what to make reels, bro. I don't know how I'm going to narrow
Oh, my
down.
goodness.
This is going to be one of the ones, bro. Some podcasts, I'll literally end it, and I'll have like 15 different timestamps. I already know when I'm editing it. This is going to be one of those, like, all right, which ones do I fucking choose?
Wow.
Like,
man, thank you again for having me. Like, I really appreciate it. I know y'all took time out your days to do this.
Of course. I've been dying to do this interview since last year when I first met you, bro. I was like, I got to pick this motherfucker's brain on an episode, bro.
Wow.
Like, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, seriously. You got anything else you want to add on?
Nah, man, I think that's it. You can follow me at solely.sadiq, I guess. And follow Key, KEIWEIFRUIT, and come to Boston Calling.
Bro. One last little props, bro. I got to give you your props. Salute to you for everything you're doing with your own shit. Salute to everything you're doing with Key, everything you're doing for the community. Just all around. Salute. Nothing but respect. Nothing but love. I love to see it. I can't wait to see you in a year, bro. All the dope shit you got coming. I can't wait to see like what next year is looking like.
Right.
Even though already this year is already looking fire as shit. But
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the recap will be like, bro.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you once again, bro. Seriously. Like, seriously. And all y'all motherfuckers watching, tired of this shit, YouTube corny shit, like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. Make sure to follow Sadiq. That's the only important part of that. And all that other shit better be motion for y'all motherfuckers by now. But everybody that's fucking with the episodes, thank you guys very, very much. Episode 105. This has been a very good one. I don't know who the next guest is yet because I got a bunch of people in the queue. So I'll just let you guys see that. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.
How I come in just so effortless. I got you hooked, I know you wonder how I jig and finesse. The truth is everything I do, I never do to impress. Somehow I kinda find out words to express, but I digress.